Well, hey, Motor Warriors. The head of the dragon comes up out of Tazewell on 16. You take 83 to 80, that goes up to 52. You go through Welch, if you can see Welch on this map, and then you go down, uh, and you take, it's kind of like down by that North Fork, just past that by, what is that, Kyle or whatever, and you take 161. 161 keeps going down by Skyguski, if you can see that. Well, where it hits 103, I'll show you that on this next map. So in this map, you can see how 161 comes down, and instead of like T turning into 103, it angles and blends right up to the 103. And I don't know if there was a sign and I didn't see it because of traffic, or if there is no sign. We are talking the back roads of West Virginia. But I clearly didn't see it. And so I just followed the bend around the road, ended up on 103, which took me all the way back up to Welch. And then when I saw 16, I'm like, okay, why am I on 16 here? I'm way too far up to hit 16 again. And it was confusing. And I couldn't get on my cell phone because I couldn't get a signal. So that's how I ended up getting turned around. But man, it was a great drive. So I'm not complaining, just letting you know how easy it is to get turned around. Like the shimmy on this front end. I think I might need to tighten that bolt down, or that nut, for the steering head. And after you've been wearing a tight helmet on your head all day, all afternoon, whatever, you're ready to stop and take the thing off. I sure hope I'm going the right way here. And mud. Been running into a lot of that too. Rock slides with gravel on the road, mud on the road, coal trucks in my lane. You really got to keep your eyes open on some of these roads. But back in East Tennessee years ago, I'd come around one of these blind curves where you can't really see anything, and had a big old bear right in the middle of the road, or in the middle of my lane, I should say. I've had deer, I've even had bulls. And of course, then you always got your dogs and your cats and your skunks and your possums and your armadillos. And the closer you get to dark, you got to be more careful, because that's when a lot of those critters start moving. Oh, great road. chunks of coal over there. And some of these twisties will fool you too. They'll have some that'll be marked and they'll say like 25, and you could probably take it at 50 and not even sweat, right? And then they'll have others that aren't marked and you need to take it like 10. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm at. I tell you, man, I think I'm going the wrong way. Dadgummit. The signs didn't make any sense. So I'll just have to figure it out. Coalwood, home of the Rocket Boys. I think that had something to do with some people who started what was the early part of like NASA or something. They started experimenting rockets and stuff going up around here, and they started calling them the Rocket Boys. I'll have to look that up. Y'all can look it up too if you want to, but I think it had calling them this area home of the Rocket Boys. I think it's because they were messing around with shooting rockets up, and that's how NASA eventually came into being, was from people, you know, the people who were doing that. You know, a lot of people meet these folks that live in this area, they hear them talk and they see what they live in, and they think they're all dumb as a box of rocks, and it is not true. Money does not oh, look at that, see that old house there? Money does not determine how smart you are. I mean, there's plenty of politicians with a lot of money, ain't that right, Creepy Joe, that have some education, ain't that right, Creepy Joe and Nancy Pelosi, that think, you know, people think they're smart and they're dumb as a box of rocks. No common sense. And in the case of Creepy Joe, can't even put a sentence together, and he's the president. Yeehaw. Switch back up. Yeehaw. So if you ever stop and get to talk to some of these people, even if they're not what a lot of people call book smart, I tell you what, they got some serious common sense, and when they've got a problem they're facing, you know, they can figure it out. A lot of these people are smarter than you think. So, you know, that old expression, don't judge a book by its cover. Well, it's the same with people. Don't judge people by how they live or how they talk or where they're from or, you know, how much money they have or any of that kind of stuff. Sure, you can, you know, have a lot of money and go to some place like Yale or Harvard, but half the time you'll come out dumber than what you were when you went in, believing all kinds of stupid stuff. Alright, I gotta watch what I'm doing here. Well, there's an interesting contraption right there. It looks like a bridge, but it ain't. It doesn't go nowhere. Probably something to do with the old coal mines. Okay. I hope I'm still going the right way here. I'm not paying much attention. It's amazing how close some of these houses are to the road, but at least this one's got like a retaining wall and they're up a little bit, so if somebody did crash, it wouldn't go through their house. But some of these sections, they're even with the road and they're right up on the road. If somebody went through here too fast,
lost control or a coal truck hits something, man, it could be a dangerous place to play if you're a kid. But this area isn't too bad, but look at how close it is up on the house. It looks like areas of the Philippines or Thailand or something. I'm gonna let this run for a while because every time I shut it off I see something cool and it takes too long to try and get it back on. See, look at that. That must be something to do with coal, I'd imagine. Like a coal chute or something. If y'all can see that. I'll have to ask Mr. G. Yeah, there's coal down there. I see coal. It's definitely something to do with a coal mine. Haven't been on any of this stretch of road here. I haven't done this head of the Dragon before. And between all the beautiful scenery, and you got to watch out for coal trucks. I had a coal truck in my lane in one of the twisties, you know. I'd saw him through the trees, and so I slowed way down and hugged. There was a big retaining wall, must have been 10, 12 feet up or something, and I had to hug that thing because he was coming around the curve in my lane. I'm just glad that I saw him coming through the trees, because that could have been pretty bad real quick. There's all kinds of old buildings, and I feel like my head's on a swivel looking at all this. I like old buildings and stuff. There's that, like an old car wash. Look at that. That must have been from a long time ago. So I need to kind of watch what I'm doing too here. I shut it off when I want to go faster. See, look at how they're right up on the road here. See that? Swing too wide, boom. Take out someone's house. But y'all need to ride this head of the Dragon, man. I tell you, it's longer than the back of the Dragon, that's for sure. It's like, I think 91 miles or something like that. But it's a nice ride. If I wasn't thinking about my camera gear getting wet in the back, I got my drone and my camera gear just in case I saw something really cool where I could actually stop. I wanted to make sure I had it with me, but I'm also thinking about rain clouds. I hate to get my drone all wet. There goes some, oh, there's some trains right over there, some cars over there. I don't know if that's going over. I can't tell what that is. Doesn't look like they're moving though. I got to keep my eyes on the road. Here comes another coal truck, but this is wide here, so we're all right. I'd stop and check and see where I'm at to make sure I am on the right path here, but I'm not haven't gotten any kind of signal on my phone in 50 miles. Another burned down house. I can't believe how many burnt down houses I've seen on this ride. Makes me wonder if they're doing it on purpose. I heard a story about somebody that couldn't pay the bills and they needed the money, and they had insurance, so they took out their clothes and everything, you know, what little they had of value, and torched the house. Got the insurance money. And I'm sure that's happened quite a bit. You know, desperate situations make people do desperate things. And when it comes down to, you know, you're going to lose everything anyway, and you're hungry, and you got kids to feed. Yeah, it ain't right, but man, unless you're in their situation, it's hard to know what they went through. I mean, I just can't see myself ever doing that. I'd find a way. Oh, look at that. There used to be, what is that, Long John Silver? They must have had some money at one point, because you got a restaurant like that. I better slow down. I forgot it's 25. Last thing I need to do is get a ticket. I'd like to mow those kind of front yards or walk up your driveway. Man, I tell you what, I'd hate to mow that. You'd have to weed whack the whole thing. Mowing something like that, you'd flip your mower. Okay, so 16. So this should be taking me back to Tazewell. That's an interesting thing. Okay, it says 52. Now we're 16.